guys, and welcome back. It's been a while. I know, I'm sorry, but here we are making another video. So the last you guys heard, I picked up the motor. It's a forged stroker motor, 2.0 from Flyin Miata, 1.8 block. Bored out and stroked with all forged internals, fully built. And when you saw last, I picked it up, but it did have an issue. It had a little bit of a knock going on, and previous owner didn't really know what the issue was, so I figure I'd take it under my belt and dive under. So as you can tell, finished the swap. So the motor, I ended up tearing apart the bottom end to find a rod bearing ended up being spun. So slapped in a new pair of rod bearings, freshened up the whole motor, and slapped it right in. The swap itself really only took me a few months to complete. So my game plan for the swap was to actually switch over to the Mega Squirt ECU first, get used to the computer tuning and learn how to do that, and then put in the new stroker motor so I could figure out exactly what kind of settings I needed to change to get that going. The swap itself, switching over from the original motor to the 2.0 stroker, only took about 2 months or so, I'd say, to really get the motor in there and get settled. It took a little bit longer to get all the wiring right and the settings correct. From there, I pretty much fired up within a couple months of dropping the motor in. Now let me tell you about the first fire up. So it was very nerve-wracking. I didn't realize that when I was trying to fire up the car, I had a couple of the settings wrong in the ECU. So I was putting in a lot of fuel and not quite the right amount of spark. So when the car did originally start firing over, it was open downpipe and it shot some crazy flames out the bottom. My ears were ringing, the whole exhaust was shaking, the house was shaking, but it was awesome. And then after I powered through a couple of those, the car ended up firing right up. Hearing that come to life after just being fully disassembled by myself, who has really no clue what he's doing in any of this. So it was really, from there, the car has been incredible. I have had no problems with it. It's been great ripping it around. Let me tell you, second and third gear, just shredding the tires. So I mean, it's not really the best for acceleration, but it sure is super fun sliding around on the road. I have already taken down a couple competitors out on the streets. I already went through a 5-speed transmission, so now I swapped in the 6-speed, which hopefully lasts much longer than the 5. So far it's been holding up all right. And I also blew out the rear diff, so now I'm on to another torsion rear diff. Changed up the gearing a little bit, now I'm down to a 390. I didn't quite get down as low as I wanted, but it's the only one I could find in the meantime. Hopefully now the drivetrain is pretty stout for the time being. I don't do any heavy launching. Pretty much all just roll racing and street driving, so really nothing too incredible. So hopefully it does now hold up a little longer. So that's gonna be a wrap for today's video. It's really pretty short, but in the next one, I'm gonna start this sucker up. We're gonna get her out on the streets and rip this thing. So stay tuned. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below and I'll make sure to get to them. All right, guys, till next time.